No one knew that the river held a deep, dark secret. Long ago, a spirit named Olufemi had blessed the river. But the people had broken a promise to her. Forgotten and angry, Olufemi cursed the river. Long ago, in the heart of Nigeria, there was a peaceful village called Omu. The people of Omu were farmers and fishermen. Their life depended on a wide, sparkling river called the Eze River. It was the lifeblood of the village. Every morning, women fetched water, children splashed in it, and fishermen caught their meals. No one knew that the river held a deep, dark secret. Long ago, a spirit named Olufemi had blessed the river. But the people had broken a promise to her. Forgotten and angry, Olufemi cursed the river. At first, no one noticed anything wrong. The river flowed as it always had, and the villagers continued their daily lives. But one day, something strange happened. Ademu, a farmer, drank from the river and fell sick. His skin turned pale, and he couldn't stand up. The village herbalist, Mama Kemi, tried to heal Ademu, but her herbs didn't work. "This is no ordinary sickness," she said, shaking her head. "Something is wrong with the river." The next day, animals began dying. Chickens, goats, and even the cows refused to drink from the river. The crops near the river withered and turned brown. The people grew scared. "We must hold a meeting," shouted Chief Baligan, the leader of the village. The villagers gathered in the square, whispering nervously. At the meeting, Chief Baligan raised his hand. "Something evil has cursed our river," he said. "Without the river, we will not survive. We must find out what is wrong." An old woman named Granny Adeola stood up. Her voice trembled, but her words were strong. "Long ago, we made a promise to the spirit of the river. We promised never to build near the sacred rock at the riverbank. But look at it now." Everyone turned their heads. A large hut now stood near the sacred rock. It belonged to a rich merchant named Ogbomo, who had moved to the village a few years ago. "I didn't know the rock was sacred," Ogbomo said. "I only wanted to be close to the river for trade." "The spirit does not forgive so easily," Granny Adeola warned. "We must appease her, or the curse will destroy us all." "But how do we find the spirit?" asked Adeola, a young hunter. "I have never seen her." Granny Adeola pointed to the river. "Olufemi lives beneath the waters. To speak to her, someone must dive to the deepest part of the river." The villagers gasped. The deepest part of the river was dangerous. Stories of people disappearing there were well known. Some said it was bottomless. "I will go," said Adeola, his voice firm. "The river is angry, and we cannot wait." Before Adeola left, Mama Kemi tied a charm around his wrist. "This will protect you," she said. "Be careful." Adeola walked to the riverbank as the villagers watched in silence. The water was dark and still. He took a deep breath and dived in. Under the water, everything was quiet. Adeola swam deeper and deeper, until he saw a faint light. He swam toward it and found a beautiful woman sitting on a throne made of coral. Her eyes glowed like fireflies. "Who dares disturb me?" the woman said. Her voice was deep and echoing. "I am Adeola from the village of Omu," he said. "Our river is cursed, and my people are suffering. Please help us." The woman stood up. "I am Olufemi, the spirit of the river. Your people broke their promise. They built near my sacred rock and forgot my name." Adeola bowed. "We are sorry. Tell us how to make things right." Olufemi's eyes softened, but her voice was firm. "I need a sacrifice," she said. "One life for the river to flow clean again." Adeola's heart sank. How could he ask someone to give up their life? "Is there no other way?" he pleaded. Olufemi shook her head. "A life must be given willingly. I will wait until the next full moon." If you fail, the curse will destroy your village. When Adeola returned to the surface, the villagers crowded around him. What did the spirit say? Chief Balogun asked. Adeola hesitated but told them the truth. The villagers gasped and began arguing. No one wanted to be the sacrifice. We cannot let one person die for the rest of us, said Ogbomo. We must find another way. But Granny Ijeoma shook her head. The spirit's words are final. If we do nothing, we will all die. Days passed, and the village grew worse. More people fell sick, and the crops were almost gone. The river smelled foul, and no one dared to drink from it. On the night of the full moon, Adeola stood before the village. I will go, he said. The village needs the river more than it needs me. The villagers were silent. Some wept, while others bowed their heads in shame. As Adeola walked to the river, Mama Kemi and Granny Ijeoma followed him. Mama Kemi gave him a small pouch. Inside is a seed from the iroko tree, she said. Plant it before you go. It will grow strong, like your spirit. Adeola planted the seed near the sacred rock. Then he stepped into the river and disappeared beneath the water. The next morning, the villagers woke to the sound of rushing water. The river flowed clear and pure again. The crops turned green, and the animals returned. But Adeola did not come back. The villagers mourned him, but they were grateful for his sacrifice. Days later, the seed Adeola had planted grew into a mighty tree. Its branches stretched high, and its roots reached deep into the earth. Granny Ijeoma said, Adeola's spirit lives in this tree. It will protect the river and remind us of our promise. The villagers built a shrine near the tree and made offerings to Olufemi every year. They never forgot the price of breaking their promise. Years passed, and the story of Adeola and the cursed river became a legend. Parents told it to their children, warning them to respect the spirits of the land. The iroko tree stood tall, watching over the river. Whenever the villagers saw its leaves rustle in the wind, they felt that Adeola was still with them. One day, a traveler came to the village. He admired the river and the mighty tree. How did this tree come to be? He asked. A young boy named Tond told the traveler the story of Adeola. He saved our village and gave his life for the river, Tond said proudly. The traveler smiled and said, You are lucky to have such a hero. Tond nodded. We are lucky, but we also learned a lesson. We must always keep our promises. The traveler drank from the river and felt its cool, pure water refresh his soul. He left the village, carrying the story with him. The story of the cursed river spread far and wide. People came from distant lands to see the tree and drink from the river. The villagers welcomed them but reminded them to respect the sacred rock and the river. This river has a spirit, they said. Never forget. And so, Omu remained a peaceful and prosperous village. The people lived in harmony with the river, always remembering the sacrifice of Adeola and the wrath of Olufemi. The iroko tree continued to grow, its roots strong and unshakable. It stood as a reminder that promises should never be broken and that even the smallest actions can have great consequences. Many years later, the village of Omu faced a terrible drought. The sun blazed fiercely, and other rivers in the region dried up. But the Eze River continued to flow, clear and strong. Villagers from neighboring lands came to Omu, seeking water and refuge. Chief Balogun's grandson, young Chief Obi, welcomed the visitors. The river is a gift from the spirit Olufemi and the sacrifice of Adeola, he said. All are welcome to drink from its waters, but remember, the river must always be respected. One evening, an elder from a distant village approached the iroko tree. She knelt and whispered a prayer of gratitude. As she did, a breeze swept through the branches, and the leaves shimmered, as if the tree understood. Granny Ijeoma, now frail but still wise, told the villagers, the river and the tree are bound to our village's soul. They remind us that harmony with nature is the key to survival. Teach this to your children, so they will carry the lesson forward. Years passed, and the Iroko tree became a symbol of hope across the land. Travelers brought gifts to the shrine, and songs were written about Adeola's bravery. The village prospered, not just because of the river but because of the wisdom it had gained. One day, as the villagers gathered for their annual offering at the shrine, the river's surface began to glow under the moonlight. From the water rose a figure, Olufemi, the spirit of the river. She looked upon the villagers with a gentle smile. "I have watched over you for many years," Olufemi said. "You have honored your promises and cared for the river. For this, Omi will always have my blessing. Let Adeola's sacrifice inspire you to protect all that is sacred and to live with kindness." As Olufemi disappeared into the river, a soft rain began to fall, bringing life to the land. The villagers rejoiced, their hearts full of gratitude. From that day on, Omi became a beacon of harmony, its story of the cursed river and the brave Adeola passed down through generations. The river, the tree, and the spirit were forever one with the village, a bond unbroken.